Welcome to your magic moon message, ladies and gentlemen. This is the peace dealer. The moon is in Aries and the sun is in Virgo. Let's go. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Tomorrow we will enact the 210-degree signature between the sun and the moon. It's going to make a Scorpio signature, namely. The moon at present is, I think, a few degrees away from Neptune. So it has cleared the Saturn gate through Pisces that has retrograded back into Pisces. Ignore my face. Ignore how my face looks. I have not freshened up. It's late in the afternoon. Yeah, I kind of just got out of bed and just kind of did my thing. Forgive me, Virgo. I know I look unkempt as fuck right now. 1 minute into this video, but Aries is about ruggedness and rawness. So let me not blame Aries for my appearance, but I figured why not just go into this raw dog, all right? And if you are cringing because of this, know that this is just a part of this lesson, because sometimes when it comes to transforming, I'm doing this right now, when it comes to transforming your behavior, it gets raw and rugged, it gets dirty, it gets unfiltered, okay? This isn't the moon in Libra where we're understanding how to polish and balance our expression here. I thought real seriously, like, should I just kind of like freshen up real quick and then do this? But I'm like, nah, moon is in real deal Aries. You gotta see the flaws and all, even though this is just all sexiness, just here in the flesh. You gotta see this. You know, I haven't done pull-ups in a minute, so let me just kind of, don't worry, I can't do any more than I usually do. I haven't really hit these like I was supposed to. So, if I do the reverse grip, I can know. But yeah. Oh. Oh my God. As you can see, pure strength riveting through my bones and through my brains. I'm totally not out of shape just because of 2 pull-ups. This is just progress. That being said, we are transforming this nature of our behavior. And I would say now until a full moon has put you in a position, I know you look at my eye, hold on, has put you in a position to realistically get the perception around how it is you are ready to make these changes. Okay. From the new moon in Virgo to the full moon in Pisces, right? And now the moon in Aries is having you understand authentically who and what you are that can apply these changes of what you believe and how you behave in order to facilitate this all. In other words, you're inserting how 2 weeks of instilling new habits, or at least the principles behind them, have prepared for you to now shift how you feel about yourself and to now self-insert yourself into this process. I think that's the dopest part about, of course, you see the sexification. Just real quick, I had to just do this real quick. Boom. See, good as new. Good as new, baby. This is the self-insert part of this Virgo season. Whew. So from new moon to full moon in a mutable sign, we have had a couple of game changers through moon in Sag and moon in Pisces. And this has allowed for you to once again shift your perspective around how you live your life. And now this is the self-insert moon Aries, where it's like, okay, oh, this is how we're doing it. Boom. All right, this is how I feel doing it. And this one transit is going to now Scorpio signature harvest the transformation of this perspective. As you may have heard me reference, you can play rock, paper, scissors through the zodiac, as we can say rock is fixed, right? Paper beats rock. Obviously, paper is going to be the weakest. It's going to be mutable. But scissors beats paper. Scissors, which is going to be cardinal, which rock beats. So fixed beats cardinal. Cardinal beats mutable. Mutable beats fixed. There you go. And now the moon is in a cardinal sign during a mutable transit, and the changeable, fluctuating perspective of mutable signs, which I found it dope. Big Bank has a podcast called Perspectives, and he was born Gemini season of True Perspective, just to see how these signatures express themselves through real people who may not even practice this, but it still expresses it. They're still living it, right? The perspective of how our behavior is changing with Virgo. Now the authenticity, the cardinal action, and the power that now directs itself changes the perspective. It changes, of course, your behavior. In this case, it's transforming your behavior as relative to this necessary adjustment and perspective switch and integration. You are coming into a more authentic feeling of who you are. And that's where the reimagination of Neptune through Aries is very significant, because, of course, now you're transcending this 13-year process of coming into this next version of yourself. And I like this whole theme of reimagination. It's not, America as a country, I'm going to say America because I'm in America. America as a country in the 1800s had to be reimagined from how it originally was in the 1700s. This is what led to the Civil War. America coming back now, and if you think about it, the themes around America reimagining itself, the last time it was here at this 1 degree spot that triggered the Civil War, had everything to do with what is Aries, America's identity. Are we someone who, affirms this or is against that? I know it's very popular to say that it was all based around slavery, when of course there was a lot more issues, but we know slavery was a big, ticket deal on here, which also influenced the secession. And we're kind of seeing echoes of this now. I'm not going to say not has anything to do. How funny would it be? Not funny. How crazy would it be if Civil War 2 is over reparations? That would be so crazy. Like the revenge. Yes. That'd be such a crazy plot point. Full circle moment. But I'm going to say more secession, right? Because that was one of the issues that drove America to secede itself. You have the South and the North fighting over America's identity. Realistically, which side is going to control the narrative around what America is so very important, because we're back again. And and I'm just using America as an example because we're going to see this in every country. We're going to see this now with Saturn coming through as a global push to which was not possible back in the 1800s, now create these world systems to be one, right? Which is going to be a conflict of interest between globalism versus nationality, which doesn't have to be at odds, but we may see this, right? So if we take America as an example, back in the 1800s, you had this shown through secession, and now in the 2020s, you have this same identity crisis being brought up again, where you're seeing now the consequences of immigration into, all these countries, probably due to colonialism and neocolonialism, all trickling around, all coming full circle, right? Now you're seeing Elon Musk post stuff like the rape of Europe, which is very ironic, which was very ironic because we're going from the rape of Africa to the rape of Europe. We're quite literally seeing the chain results and the consequences of actions taken hundreds of years ago, where the chain of people getting displaced, as well as the crumbling of their economies and everything that comes back, is all coming back around. It's very simplified to say, it's not that simple, but we want to see this theme of identity crisis, especially in America, where you have people saying, oh, this is not what America looks like. America's supposed to look like this. Is America supposed to look like me? Because according to Americans, black Americans and white Americans, I'm just a tether, y'all. I didn't understand what the fuck a tether or an anchor baby was until my 30s. I thought we was all American. Clearly I'm out the loop. You see what I'm saying? So like, there is this identity crisis here where now you have people who are fighting to maintain what America is supposed to look like. Aries is the face. Who is the face of America? Who is the face of this television show? Who is the face of this corporation, so that we can have people who identify with that push forward as that's our brand. And that's going to be the major point over the next 2.5 years that kicks off this brand new world order cycle. And if you understand that everything is cycling back to the last time we had that, you know it's not coming out of nowhere. You know it's not random, which some people might deceive you and make it look like it is, in order to kind of hide really the origin of why these conflicts are having in the first place. And it's really not what you think. For example, one facet of this is going to be race relations, right? And while racism is going to be a very major player in how this is playing out, it would be very short-sighted to solely just blame racism, right? Where on one end, you can just deny it entirely and be like, we shouldn't talk about this, which doesn't help the issue. And then the other end, you can talk about it too much and then start pandering to the same people, which really just aggravates more of the issue. We're having to find not just a medium, but an effective solution that ties in all of these issues, which, I mean, people have been talking about for years. And, you know, not to say that it hasn't been progress in between, but now that, once again, as we will have every 28 days, this moon in Aries here with Neptune reimagining things, and with Saturn phasing out the old 30, 60, 90, 120 year cycles, right? We're taking all of these old world issues and we're stepping into new levels, new devils, right? How do we translate this to a disillusioned new generation of people who did not grow up with these same issues, albeit might, feel echoes of it and may not necessarily care as much as we do? I mean, we in our generation barely cared as much as the older generation. So these are things that not only are going to stack up and align. I'm not going to speak for everyone. Obviously, there are people who, do what they do, but let's just speak collectively. Hardly anybody cares. So that being said, these are real issues that now being compounded in here. How are you going to be transforming your lifestyle, and how are your habits aligning to where collectively the world is going, socially the world is going, and individually you're going? All right. So this is going to be really beautiful, because now that you're being reminded what feels authentic to you, as you self-insert this understanding of your true nature and who you are, this is going to now, as you feel those independent actions to take, transform what seeds you planted in your behavior, these new habits 2 weeks ago, and how you began to integrate them about a week ago. And now how over the past 2 days, they've started to break through. And a lot of this transformation is going to make way to strengthen the quality and the value of these authentic feelings when the moon goes into Taurus, and that Sagittarius signature will now ground the vision through these grounded values of how your lifestyle is becoming tangible, how what these habits look like, how by the time the moon is in Taurus, we're completing the harvest to secure with that grounded stability consistency. All right. With which you can build on it as we move forward. So this is where it's really more important around just getting in that consistency and at least establishing how it is you plan to approach things moving forward. Okay, Virgo, hold on. Virgo said, I'm not impressed that you just put lotion on your face. Listen, I'm not you, okay? Look. You don't even appreciate how this was a transformation Aries face transit and I just cleaned my face to show you what it looks like. Yay, you like that excuse? I didn't. I showed up with my face dirty just so I could show you how to clean. I did that on purpose. What are you talking about? I had to demonstrate the transit for you. Come on, son. That was a really good excuse. Anyway, I mean, not good enough for you. Nothing's good enough for you, Virgo. It's cool, though. Well, I will say that. Shout out to you. I hope you've been enjoying this birthday season because fall and winter are about to be insane. That being said, as we close out this summer, you know, allow this transit to return you to the nature of how original you are willing to feel about who you are right now. And with that influence of Neptune and Chiron, be amazed at what is revealed during this final revelation period over the next couple of months as well. And by the time the moon goes into Gemini, we'll be articulating and putting into words how and what we've completed as it comes to these habits, and how we'll be getting ready to apply these habits in relevant relationships moving forward. Okay. Other than that, shout out to those of you who have had Saturn returns in Pisces. Shout out to those of you who are having nodal returns in Pisces as well. If you're born in 88 or 95, 88 for the nodes, 95 for Saturn, but it's not limited to those years. And yeah, whether you have the opposition, whether you have a Saturn square, we got this, y'all. Okay, as you can see, I done transformed my face. You know what I'm saying? Well, I could also see Virgo's like, no, you could also clean your beard. But listen, relax. Okay, I told you Aries is about the raw and ruggedness. Okay, so I had to leave that here too. But maybe we'll see. Libra is all about fashion and beauty. Actually, but I should probably get that done first. Regardless. Look forward to this transformation of your behavior. But remember, we're harvesting this transit. So this transformation of your habits is a breakthrough. You're breaking through what you have established. And that's what's going to really express itself through transforming your habits. Now, self-inserting you so that you can now shift this perspective. The moon will also be opposite Mars in Libra, so you'll also really get a sneak peek before the sun is in Libra, and we're aware of how we're going to apply this towards other people, what actions you can already take with other people or feel like taking with other people, and how the moon in Aries will tie in how authentic you bridge these altruistic actions towards others. You guys stay blessed as always. Comment down below what you're grateful to be harvesting, what changes in your habits, what shifts, right? Be very mindful. The smallest changes go the long way. So if you're looking for like big major results, you can get them, but I would focus more on the small, seemingly minuscule changes you're committing to, which you'd be surprised bring probably a huge change. And until next time, I'm still 50% off. Why haven't you ordered a reading? No, look, stop. Why haven't you ordered a report? They not expensive. The recorded reports or everything is 50% off. So what's really good? And do you really support me? Huh? If do you support me if you're not paying me money? What, you think just viewing me is enough? It really is. If you just watching me, that's more than enough. you could tip me or give me whatever. But I am 50% off for those of you who want it for the rest of Virgo season. Take advantage. Are you subscribed to my app, supernatural.passion.io? How come you don't even have a free account? Huh? Better transform that behavior. Peace.